Hi everyone, it's Cindy Lee, and today I am going to tell you about the best foundation ever. Now, it's particularly good for women seeing signs of aging, but even teenagers will love it because it's not noncomedogenic, which means it doesn't clog pores. But why? Why is this the best foundation ever? Well, number one, it's because it's incredibly high pigmented. And what that high pigment means to you is that a very little amount goes a very long way. It's going to sit on the top of your skin. It is not going to settle in fine lines. You're going to have exceptional coverage. And let me show you this incredible foundation. Now, this is my favorite palette. I have the foundation with two concealers, and I just grab a little out of there and put it onto the back of my hand. So I don't know if you can see that. Just a very, very small dollop of product on the back of my hand. Now, you could take this and you could do a little swipe all over it. One of the things that I really like for putting it on is a foundation brush. And I'm going to show you some of these things because they go with the post I made earlier. Now, it likes to be warmed up as you're putting it on. And if you're looking at doing a color matching, we have a great way to do that. I can happy to help you out because sometimes you have more pink undertones, sometimes you have more yellow undertones, sometimes you're just a little bit kind of a neutral. You're not really one or the other. And lucky for you, with our new shades that we're getting, you're going to be able to see that. Now, if you noticed how I had that redness that was right here on my face and how it's covered up with just that small amount, and look how much foundation I still have on my hand. So using this brush, you can put it on as I showed. It's called a foundation brush, and you're going to get great coverage. Now, one of the tools that I really like is our makeup sponge, and I actually have this a little bit moist, and you just put it into your foundation, but what you're going to do is more of a press and roll with this feature, or with this product. Now I'm going to kind of show you on my eye. You can see what I can cover up so it's not quite so red there. I like this bouncing motion on the rest of my face. But really what's good for me is I have such large pores on my nose. And I have these fine lines right above my lip. So I love how I can press that right into there. That's going to give me such a good finish for my face. Now, if you can see the difference already, you can see the redness that I'm covering up. That's where I just did a little swipe with my finger to show you different ways to apply it. Now, I want to show you a couple of other brushes that, again, I mentioned in another post so that if you can look at it. And makeup brushes tools are really important. Not every tool is created equal. This one is a weighted brush. When you hold it closer, you're going to get a more defined coverage, a little bit more coverage. And if you hold it out here, you're going to get a little less coverage. So if you like a really light coverage, the buffer brush is a great, I'm not going to do all the coverage here because I want to show you one more brush. And this is the brush that my daughters love because it has this big flat diffuser brush. I'm going to try and take some more of that off my skin. And again, it's going to be a very, very light. You can see some of the redness coming through. See a little bit of the difference from where I applied with the sponge or where I'm using the diffuser brush. So I'm going to, pick that up and I'm going to go so I can just make my face look the same for you. But you can see how, depending on how you apply it, the type of coverage you're going to get. Now, these blendifers are all part of our friends and family event we have going on right now. You can see great coverage using only foundation. I'm not using any concealer whatsoever on this look. Now, one of the things that I talk about, sometimes you have a summer shade and sometimes you have a winter shade that's going to be a little bit lighter and you want to match. It's like with your chest. Now, if you were in the winter and you were a scarf wearer or you were wearing sweaters, you're not going to see this part. But as you see where I have a lot more redness down here, I would just be bringing that foundation down a little bit more onto my neck so that I have more of a blended look with there. I want to show you one thing though that I think it's really important, because sometimes when we're buying foundations and you see it's not really matching up, I am going to put one that has a little bit more, if you have redness, and a little bit more pigment in there. It's like two different colors. I hope you can see that now, right now. But if you see on my chest, one is going to grab a little bit more of the pink and one is going to grab a little bit more of the red. These are shades, are both olive one and a Shinto one. And if you see that, you can see that it's a little bit, it's going to bring out different colors, which is why it's so important for you to get a color match so that you make sure you're getting the right foundation. Now, if I wanted to bring that all down, I can try to blend that in a little bit onto my chest. And you can see how easy it was to bring around, to put on, to blend together. I'm going to do it all a little bit quick here. The next thing you want to do is, and I didn't get out my powders, is you're going to want to set this foundation. Now, you can use our setting powder, which is pretty phenomenal. I like to set with a setting spray because I like the little bit of sheen that it gives to me. And I'm going to show you a little tip for all of my women who are over 50 watching. If I spritz a little bit on the back of my hand and I tap my fingers in there into this setting spray, and I am actually going to tap this right around my eyes and around my nose and my upper lip. Now, why am I doing that? I'm tapping it until it feels tacky because I am really setting that in there and keeping it from setting into those fine lines that I have in those areas. Do that, spritz all over. I'm not going to add any blush at this time. I'm not going to add any bronzer because I just want you to see how great the foundation is with our coverage. So if you have not yet tried Limelight foundations, this is the perfect opportunity for you to try it. Remember, it's cruelty-free. It's never tested on animals. It's vegan. It is very high coverage. It is weightless on your skin. If you've ever used it and you can feel it, you have way too much product on your face. This foundation, for me, using it almost every day, I'm probably going to get somewhere between about 4 months, 4 maybe to 5 months, because I use such a very small amount of it. So if you need any more tips on our foundation and why this is the best, reach out to me. I'd love to do a conference with you. And remember, if life gives you lines, be the light.